Termites, fire, episode 108. Isn't that crazy?
Yay!
Who would have thunked it? Thank you, Termites, for all the birthday wishes on Twitter and Instagram. I read probably 99.9% of them. And that was in the middle of just Facebook, too. Don't forget Facebook. Complete birthday fun madness. Cardinals game. And we won. And Albert hit a home run. Chop, chop. We're in the wild card playoffs. I made it on the jumbotron. That's always just a tiny bit embarrassing. It's cool, but I'd rather it be the person sitting next to me. Like where I could be in it, but I don't. I just want to be on it and see myself, but I don't want to be the focus. That was super fun. So thanks to the Cardinals for that. And then once you're on the jumbotron, then everyone in the stadium who has my phone number is texting. Well, I didn't know you were going to be here. my cousins were in a fancy suite above me, and I didn't even know. I have a shit ton of cousins, but my cousins were in a fancy suite above me. And so I went up there to steal free beer out of their suite, which was excellent. He had a bunch of, my friend, cousin, he works with a bunch of union guys, and he's like, yeah, I think they've gone through a little bit more beer than, I said, then you're allowed, then you're supposed to have. And then I got some golf clubs, but more importantly, so that right now, the tour I'm on is called Do You Have Any Ranch? The next one is called Box Wine and Tiny Banjos. And my friend Heine sent me the tiniest banjo.
Oh my God.
I know. I don't even know where you would get this. It's the cutest goddamn thing I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
It's adorable. So, and then back to Nashville to see Elton John.
That looks awesome.
Oh my God. Because I said to my friend Brian, we should go, right? I've never seen him, neither Brian. It's his last deal ever. He's retiring, and I do believe him. I mean, he's 75, and at this point, and he is adorable. He actually waddles. Like when he walks, he and then he had on like a tuxedo thing, so he really looked like a penguin. But his voice it's not one bit different than ever before, and it's a shame he's retiring, but I get it. He's 75. The road, the way he said it, he goes, well, I'm 75. I have to spend time with my family. I feel like his husband was like, guess what, Pawpaw? Yes, this road bullshit. Because I think they have like 10-year-old twins. Google how old their kids are.
What's your favorite Elton John song in the meantime?
Well, I love your song, but Leave On was really, really great. And I don't necessarily love Candle in the Wind, but I did that night.
They don't have twins.
They don't?
No, Zachary's 8 and Elijah's 6.
Zachary's 8 and Elijah's 6. Oh, look at me just making that up.
Yeah.
I gave them twins. And they don't. 6 and 8?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you got to be home, Pawpaw.
Yeah.
You're 75. What are we counting on? 85? We got 10 years.
Right.
That partner has been extremely patient. Mm-hmm. The road will run you ragged. So
David.
I'm happy for him that he's retiring, but very sad. And then in other super sad music news right now, and I don't really have any of my Queen news. Well, Stevie, 74, is out there killing it. If you follow her on Instagram, the Stevie Nicks official, whatever, she's out there on the road, tearing it up. Quiet. These people all been quiet. This queen, though, I don't have a cutout of Loretta Lynn, but she just died.
Oh.
Well, she's 90. I have a story about getting hillbillied once, too, by Loretta Lynn. I'll forgive her for it, but not personal, at a concert deal. So when they had that flood in Waverly, Tennessee, they had a big fundraiser at the Grand Ole Opry. And again, my friend Brian, little dwarf, I said, Dorf, I've never seen it. It said Loretta Lynn and Friends. Now, I knew she was old, but I thought, well, this is her people. Her ranch hand, her favorite person, got sucked away in the flood and died. Like, this was a personal thing to her.
Yep.
So he's like, I've never seen her either. So it was very hard to get a ticket. And somehow Dorf squirreled tickets. And we went, and Loretta Lynn wasn't there. It was somebody blew it. I mean, it was a great show. It was still great, but it's the regular ones you think you're going to see if you go to Nashville shows. Vince Gill, Carrie Underpants, the same crowd. All very great performers. But somebody came out second and said, Miss Lynn sends her love from her ranch, and I'm like, what? Her ranch? No, she's supposed to be here tonight. What the fuck? What? I totally got hillbilly. That poster says Loretta. It doesn't say Loretta Lynn's friends.
Right.
It says Loretta Lynn and friends. How about Crystal Gale, her little sister? Could she come? Nope. Nope.
Too busy.
She didn't make it either. It was a big night. There was a lot of great people. But we were also in the middle of all the flood people, the relatives of the victims, so it was super sad. Yeah. And then, yeah.
Concert.
Well, it's a fundraiser. It's not really like, yeah, they showed a lot of videos and everything. But she died, Miss Loretta Lynn, but she did get to die at her house in Hurricane Mills. That's where her ranch is, because I had heard through some people that she was mostly in Nashville these days because of her health needs. There's not a lot. Hurricane Mills is like halfway between Nashville and Memphis. Kind of, it'd be a haul to get to a doctor. As I am discovering with my parents, could we please live closer to medical attention? I would think my parents would stay closer to medical attention if there was a medical building within a casino. Then they'd do it. I'm like, you're going to live in room. I'm going to get you a suite in 704 at Harrah's or the Casino Queen. And then your doctors are going to be right down the hall. Anyway, in a statement provided to the Associated Press, they said she died at her home Tuesday. So good, she got to die at her ranch. Oh, coal miner's daughter, you guys know this. If you're younger termites, Google her and then go listen to her songs. And then what's really weird, though, and I don't think anybody knows it, I think Crystal Gale had more number one hits.
Really?
Yep. I'm not sure of that. We'll look it up. She had 16 number one country singles and won the Grammy Awards. I read her book. Her husband, Doolittle. I didn't think much of Doolittle, but she sure did. She was born in Butcher Holler, Kentucky. I'm always making Butcher Holler sound like it's the most backward part of the United States, and I think maybe it is. She wrote in her autobiography. Doolittle, he was a piece of work. She did love him, though. She even put him in her commercials. I'm like, oh my God. Exactly. Can you leave the lady alone? Can she just go to work without you? Is that possible? I did love this one song, Don't Come Home a Drinking with Lovin' on Your Mind.
Nice.
You ain't gonna jump me, you drunk little troll. I never heard of this song. In 1968, she recorded a song, Your Squaw is on the Warpath.
Shut up.
I'm going to have to go play that. What?
That's been eliminated.
She had a stroke she had a stroke 5 years ago, but she kind of came back from it pretty good, at least on the interviews I've seen and stuff. But, what do you want more than 90? That's a good life, right?
Yeah.
It was sad, though, because at least one of her kids died. Jack, he drowned. What? There's a picture of her dressed up like an Indian. She's supposed to be a squaw.
On the cover.
On the cover of the...
Wow.
We'll have to go listen to it. Yeah. Okay, that's all the Queen news. That's all the... what am I eating and drinking? Well, I'm in honor of it's a little St. Louis treat time since I was there for a while. Up in the city instead of the Ozarks or Nashville. Last seltzer of the season. Yeah.
Oh.
We're getting beyond that now. It's too cold for that.
Back to beer?
Back to beer or Jameson. Nothing better in winter than Jameson.
No, you're right.
And then I have some emo salad dressing. I tried to bring home a corned beef sandwich from McGurk's because it's the best one I've ever eaten in my life, but TSA wasn't having any of that shit. And I'm like, come on. But it was already half eaten. She probably just thought I was like a troll. And I didn't feel like arguing. But I did sneak home some Emo's dressing. But Emo's pizza, my favorite pizza in the whole world, an acquired taste.
Great dressing.
And the dressing is so good. It's just, and then look at these things that we found. Cheetos Bolitas.
Oh.
Chili and cheese flavored with chili and queso. Oh. Cheetos Bolitas. Let's see. I don't think you should mess up a Cheeto with chili, though. I'm a traditionalist. All right. They changed my mind. I love them.
Really?
Holy shit. These could get really out of hand because they taste like you're eating air. But I'm sure it's 1,000,000 calories. They're really good though.
Taste of air.
Hmm?
I like it.
Really good.
Okay.
All right. Moving on.
Where'd you drink? You always go somewhere fun.
Where did I drink? Everywhere. I drink everywhere.
What did you do?
I drank at a bar called Carson's. Yeah, it's all that either in Soulard or downtown. Just corner taverns. Just corner taverns. Like they're brick corner. You know, nothing fancy.
Your video from Ballpark Village was fun.
Ballpark Village is super fun. If you ever go to St. Louis, you're going to go to a Cardinal game. You don't even have to have a ticket. Honestly. Well, let's say you don't want to pay for a ticket to get inside. There's giant free screens outside everywhere. There's beer stands set up everywhere. And drinks. There's wine and seltzers and all that stuff. You don't even have to go in a bar. You could just watch the game. And there's giant picnic tables. They've made it so nice down there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's actually super duper fun. It's not like you just go to the park, go to the ball game, and you can. They also redid. I think I already talked about this though. They redid the entire arch area, so you don't have to cross Highway 70 and die to get to the arch. And then underneath it, there's a brand new museum. Yeah, there's a lot to do downtown. So there's my sales pitch for St. Louis. Yeah, update. Boom. We're moving on. Oh no, back to Anna Delvey.
Oh, no.
Anna Sorokin. We all know her if you listen to this podcast. She's the one featured on Netflix as being the con man. Here's another thing, though. I've started watching. I'm not going to talk too much about it. This thing called Puppet Master. It's on Netflix. It's about this guy in England who claimed he was an what's their CIA? M15 agent. He conned all these people out of money. He's full of shit. He's actually I think, super dangerous. I haven't seen the end, so I'm not going to get into it. But what I have learned, same thing with Anna and Elizabeth Holmes, getting adults to do what you want is not necessarily a crime.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's the sad part. If you're over the age of 18 and you give people everything in your bank account, they didn't really steal it. Con man is the one crime I think you can get away with still because you can say, hey, man, that chick just gave me all the money. That guy gave me all the money.
Right.
I didn't steal anything. She took it out of her bank. Anyway, Anna, she was very good at getting donations for her projects that didn't exist. Anna made the mistake of lying to a bank. You can't do that.
Right.
That's where she threw her own stuff under the bus. Anyway, she's still up in the deportation center, waiting on her next hearing. She says ex-lawyer for Anna Sorokin is withholding deportation hearing records. That's what Anna's saying. She's asking a judge to hold her in contempt for allegedly withholding recordings of her deportation hearings and some of her personal belongings. Oh. The 31-year-old Soho grifter, who was the subject of the Netflix show Inventing Anna, says lawyers Audrey Thomas is violating a July 27th court order that she transfer all files of Sorokin's to her new lawyer by August 5th.
Oh, my God.
The lady sent, by the way, if you don't know what I'm doing, that's her. I'm doing my impression of the accent of whoever who's awesome. Who did I watch? Julia Gardner played her in the thing. But I have seen real interviews with her on YouTube, and her accents vary because she's like a sociopath. The lawyer had sent two batches of documents on August 8th and 9th to the new lawyer. She allegedly hasn't turned over any of the digital audio recordings of Sorokin's immigration court hearings, nor did the packages contain any of her personal belongings. The lawyer says that she provided all the documents and has proof that she did. Sorokin says Thomas has a vendetta against her for calling her an ungrateful bitch in the media.
Oh, God.
Sorokin has previously made similar accusations against Thomas in her criminal case, but the judge instructed her to file a separate lawsuit in order to pursue a contempt order against Thomas, the court papers say. Thomas told the media that if Sorokin's civil attorney would invest his time in getting documents from immigration, he would have secured them months ago. But this is all part of his plan to blame me for his failure. Yeah, I don't know about all that. I think she just stirs up shit to try to delay things. Speaking of which, guess who else? Oh, this is fucking unbelievable. I don't know what I did with that paperclip. What did I do with my paperclip? I'm supposed to keep my things organized.
You have a lot of paper clips.
I have a lot of paper clips. I know. Elizabeth Holmes lucks out again.
Come on.
Yep. A judge agrees to delay her sentencing over prosecutor misconduct concerns. A judge on Monday agreed to delay sentencing former Theranos CEO Elizabeth Holmes. Elizabeth Holmes. Everybody put on your deepest voice possible to try to do your impression of Elizabeth. U.S. District Judge Edward Davalia had scheduled Holmes' sentencing for October 17th, but in January, a jury had found Holmes guilty on four of 11 counts of defrauding investors in the former healthcare tech company, with each count carrying a maximum sentence of 20 years. But over the summer, former Lab Theranos director Adam Rosendorf allegedly appeared at Holmes' house to express regret over his testimony, saying the government tried to make everyone, quote, look bad. That led Holmes' attorney to request a new trial last month. Nonetheless, Davalia agreed to hold a new hearing on October 17th to question Rosendorf, calling the accusations against the federal prosecutors limited but serious. Well, that makes me think maybe she ain't getting off then. Limited. How many? What do you mean? You went over there? What did the feds do? The allegation is possibly that the government may have engaged in misconduct. This court takes that seriously. Should Davalia agree to hold up the verdict, Holmes' new sentencing hearing could come as late as January. But she's out right now, enjoying life.
Yeah, raising her baby.
In July, the partner, Sunny Balwani, the former president and chief operating officer of Theranos, and Holmes' former romantic partner, was found guilty of all 12 counts of fraud. He's set to be sentenced November 15th. Well, happy Thanksgiving, Sonny. Your ass is going to be in prison. The Theranos is gone. It's gotten international attention, blah, blah, blah. Was worth $9 billion at one time, blah, blah, blah. But the whole thing was never viable, and it never even worked. But see, this is just... I hope the feds didn't fuck it up, because she should be in prison, too.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. Does anybody else disagree? Huh? Guess what they don't have in prison? Cheeto Bolitas.
Cheeto Bolitas.
Here's a guy who's going to prison. Update!
Oh my God.
Capitol rioter. A one-man wrecking ball. Gets 7 years in prison. See? I sat here on January 6th and watched the whole thing live. Texted all my comedian friends, even the ones who aren't news people. Said, turn on your TV. It's going down. It's going down. A judge sentenced the Capitol rioter to 7 years in prison Tuesday, calling the Iowa man a one-man wrecking ball who helped in a sustained assault on a police officer. Judge Amy Berman Jackson. That sounds like something from one of those movies, like Judging Amy or one of those shows.
It's fake.
Yeah. She sentenced Kyle Young in U.S. District Court in Washington to the long term, noting that he had admitted to helping in the assault of a police officer on January 6th. She gave him credit for the 17 months he's been held since his arrest, meaning he will probably serve 6 more years in prison. All of this for what? For one day. For one man you don't even know. And he wouldn't help you in a hot fucking minute.
They don't believe that.
Maybe they think he would.
They do.
I don't. I think he would sit home and eat Cheeto Bolitas.
Do you like those?
I love them. Yeah. You were a one-man wrecking ball that day, Jackson said. The sentence is among the longest handed down so far in the deadly Capitol riot, which halted the certification of Joe Biden's. We know all this. The harshest sentence of 10 years was given to a former, we already talked about that guy, the former New York cop. He assaulted a cop at the Capitol with a metal flagpole. This guy, Kyle Young, cried as he apologized to the officer and said he wished he could take back his actions of that day. I hope someday you forgive me. The cop who got hurt by this guy said he had a near-death experience he endured at the hands of the rioters in which he was beaten and repeatedly shocked with a stun gun. Young admitted to handing a stun gun to another rioter who used it. Of course. Yeah. And he also admitted to have grabbing the officer's hand as he struggled to protect himself from the attacking mob. The attack ended this guy's career as a cop. He told Young that he should get 10 years in prison. What I hope you do with that time is I hope you suffer. Oh.
Nice.
Yeah.
Death penalty.
He originally faced more than a dozen charges, but entered a plea of a single charge of assault of an officer. He went to the Capitol with his 16-year-old son. Right. And video played by federal prosecutors indicated Young took part in a fight on the Capitol's lower west terrace, including at one point throwing a heavy speaker that hit another rioter, drawing blood. He used a strobe light to impair officers' vision, and at one point gave it to his son, allowing him to directly participate in the fighting, a point the judge used to illustrate her disgust at his actions that day. Then he's got 3 years of undersupervised, afterwards. So he's got 3 more years of probation when he's done. You're the one of the most serious ones in my caseload, she said. You were personally involved and instrumental to one of the most horrific attacks on officers encased in the building. I seldom in my years on the bench have been presented with anything like this. See? Justice goes slowly, but eventually it comes. Not for everyone.
No.
But for the Iowa one-man wrecking ball. Update. Zuckerberg. I know you're tired of this story, Paddles, but it's important.
I know.
It's very important.
Yeah.
They're going to cut headcount for the first time, slash budgets across teams for Meta. Oh. Meta's dragging him down. Yeah. Nobody wants to play in his new game.
His metaverse.
They announced, this is just September 29th, they announced sweeping plans to reorganize teams and reduce headcount for the first time ever, calling an end to the era of rapid growth at the social media giant. You know what he should have done? Now, he's clearly way smarter than me. But for a lady eating Cheetos Bolitas, I would have said, Facebook is still growing, mostly in underdeveloped nations.
We have to call it Meta now.
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I'm saying Facebook itself, just the app of Facebook, is still growing. Not a lot, but it's growing. Mm-hmm. I would think the children, it's the underdeveloped nations that are just getting it. Yeah. And then they all sign up. Right. But eventually you're going to run out of those people too. Mm-hmm. We're going to hit the... Well, anyway, I would have just made Facebook better.
Right.
Instead of creating Meta. Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of shit people don't like about Facebook. The privacy settings, stuff my parents would never even care about or understand. They don't even know what they're doing. They just want to see pictures of grandkids. Right. But for people who use it for work, I mean, I've tried to communicate them for my work page. Forget it. Right. Email, there's no phone number. You're never speaking to anyone. There's not even live message chats. No. It's email. It's bullshit. Like, you just eventually go, I don't know. I don't want to use it. Sometimes I try to give a venue access to my fan page so they can post off that. It just won't work. Nope. Sometimes it works, but anyway, that's a long story. Stupid story. Meta stock fell further on down the news from the shares have fallen 60% this year. Whoa. 6-0.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
There's a couple of new things in here. Priorities internally include Reels, Meta's TikTok, competitor, which is owned by a Chinese company. As of, they've added 57 new people, 100 new hires in the second quarter, but that's way down from normal. Because I just don't think the Facebook scrambles to escape the stock's death spiral as users flee, sales drop. Mm-hmm. A year ago, before Facebook had turned to Meta, the social media company was sporting a cap of $1 trillion, putting it in a rarefied territory with the U.S. of handful of tech giants. Today, it looks much different. Hold on. Investors are not enthusiastic about Meta, the company.
Why would you be?
And the way they're dumping the stock says some observers questioning if the downward pressure is actually a death spiral from which Meta cannot recover. I'm not sure there's a core business that works anymore at Facebook, said Laura Martin of Needham, the only analyst among 45 tracked by the fact set with a sell rating on the stock. Nobody's suggesting they're going out of business. However, the company still has a dominant position in the mobile advertising and has one of the most profitable business models on the planet. Even with a 36% drop from last quarter, they generated $7.6 billion in profit and ended with $40 billion in cash and marketable securities. The company's slowest growth for revenue was 2020. There was something else. So Meta's been trying to mimic TikTok with Reels. Now, I tried Reels.
I hate it.
Well, it told me I can make $1,200. It's a trick. I'm telling you guys, because I did it. Now I don't do it anymore.
Right.
So the first couple of videos, they paid me like $35. I was like, wow.
Right.
And then the next one's got like 7 cents.
Right.
I'm like, wow, what happened? Do you not like those ones later? And they're like, oh, you may notice that your first videos will pay a lot more than the rest to get everybody going.
Right.
I'm like, no, yes, it's a trick. And I fell for it. And now I put all my more information in that I got to somehow undo, which will never happen.
No.
You'd be easier to change banks in a foreign country. Meta's been trying to mimic TikTok's success with short video offering called Reels, which has been a major focus across Facebook and Instagram. They plan to increase the amount of algorithmically recommended short... Algorithmically. Too hard. Recommended short videos in users' Instagram feeds from 15 to 30%, whatever. This is all tech shit. They acknowledge that it's early days for monetizing Reels, and it's not yet clear how well the format works for our advertisers. But I don't know how you make money on TikTok either, except ads. I don't even really do TikTok. Every once in a while, I'll throw something up.
Yeah.
I like to look at it, though.
It's fun.
So that's the problem. The children have gone
To TikTok.
to the TikTok.
Bye-bye.
And I don't think you're going to get them back.
No, I don't either.
So
All the housewives have, too. Everybody's watching.
the housewives have too. Yeah, I have a lot of friends that for certain things, like my friend Nicole likes recipes and cooking and all that. So then she just builds her own algorithmically based feed, if you will. Holy shit. They found it. We're moving on. I'm done with my updates. This bargain hunter, Will Sideri, he accidentally bought a 700-year-old medieval manuscript for $75.
Shut up.
I know. These are the people that you see on Antique Roadshow, and you're like, none of this has ever happened to me. I buy a shitty golf bag for my dad at garage sale. I get home, it's a shitty golf bag. Right? Sometimes if you buy golf bags at garage sales, if it's an old person, it's sad because their partner probably died, and they're not thinking about taking the shit out of the golf bag.
Right.
But you just find tiny bottles of whiskey,
Right.
golf tees, nothing. You're right. A bargain hunter who went to an estate sale in Maine to find, and then I don't really know what he was looking for. The thing cut off, but he found a framed document hanging on a wall. It had elaborate script in Latin, along with musical notes and gold flourishes. A sticker said the year 1285 AD, based on what he'd seen in manuscripts classes at Colby College. Manuscript classes? Well, I never heard about that. I would go. That'd be awesome. Like the Book of Kells and shit. Is that what we're talking about? The document looked downright medieval, and it was a bargain at $75. Academics confirmed that the parchment was from the Beauvais Missal, used in the Beauvais Cathedral in France, and dated to the 13th century. It was used about 700 years ago in Roman Catholic worship, and basically it's a missal. They said. An expert on manuscripts said the document first reported by the Maine Monitor could be worth as much as $10,000.
Wow.
For $75, that's quite a thing. After spying the unusual manuscript, he contacted his former professor, The professor reached out to another academic, and they quickly confirmed the authenticity. The parchment paper was part of a prayer book, and priest liturgy said so-and-so, Lisa, so-and-so. It was once owned by William Randolph Hearst, the newspaper publisher.
Wow.
Yeah, before being sold in the 40s, much to the consternation of today's academics, it was divvied up into individual pages. Anyway, he's going to keep it. He has no intention of selling it. This is something at the end of the day I didn't know was cool, and I didn't buy this expecting to sell it. Good for you, sir. You'd be gutted if you sold it for $10,000. It's probably worth more than that. A medieval? Come on. Yeah. Holy shit, they might have found it. Well, I saw the headline, and I'm like, okay. A prominent Egyptologist says he's discovered the lost queen mummy. The lost... Yeah.
He's an Egyptologist.
He does history in Egypt.
So a historian.
No, archaeological Egyptologist. Yeah, he is.
That's not a real job.
Yes, it is. It's a real job. It was on Indeed. Didn't you see it? It was on Indeed. Looking for someone who has extensive knowledge about Queen Nefertiti. How about King Tut? Huh? He is. And he's prominent, Paddles. He's not one from Craigslist. He had a real resume, and he was on Indeed. He claims he's discovered the lost mummy of Queen Nefertiti. Oh. A prominent Egyptologist has boldly claimed to have solved one archaeological greatest mysteries, the location of Queen Nefertiti's mummified remains. Zahi Hawass, the previous Minister of State for Antiquities Affairs in Egypt. See, he's had a lot of real jobs, Paddles. Yes. He's part of the Egypt-led team that undertook a high-profile evacuation of Luxor's Valley of the Kings that allegedly uncovered amulets once owned by King Tut. The team announced last December that they had also unearthed several unnamed mummies, one of which Hawass believes is the famed ruler, Queen Nefertiti. We have DNA from the 18th century dynasty mummies from Akhenaten, I can't say their name, and to more of the people. You know, more King Tuts. In October, we will be able to announce the discovery of the mummy of Tutankhamun's wife and her mother, Nefertiti.
Love it.
There's also a tomb of a 10-year-old boy. If that child is the brother of Tut and the son of Akhenaten, the problem posed by Nefertiti will still be solved. Now, there's a lot of people that disagree. They don't think it's her.
They don't think it's an Egyptologist.
Well, we'll know later this month. She only ruled for 3 years, but she got so famous. Most recently, a different archaeologist, Nicholas Reeves, proposed that the Egyptian queen was hiding in a concealed chamber in the large tomb of King Tut, which was unearthed in 1922. A more controversial theory, first publicized in 2003, claims she was one of 3 unnamed mummies found within the tomb of Pharaoh Amenhotep. Both theories have been dismissed by Egypt's Ministry of Culture. This guy's faced some other criticisms, too. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It's a maybe. Okay. But he is not joking around. This guy is for real. Sounds like he's kind of a big mouth, though. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that are like, hey, let's just slow down on that. Holy shit. They might have found it. Okay. This could technically be in the news section, but it's a maybe found it. Okay. This is going to take all of you termites going on YouTube to judge for yourself.
I'll put it in the schnotes.
It'll be in the schnotes. Yep. And for those of you who keep saying, what's a schnote? It's a show note, abbreviated to a schnote.
That's our word.
Man claims new webcams installed at the famous Loch Ness Lake have recorded Nessie moving about.
Whoa.
Let me tell you what. Here's what I will say. I've watched the videos repeatedly.
I'm sure you have.
There's definitely something doing it. I don't know what. Because you don't ever, it doesn't come out like this little statue on my desk. He doesn't come out with a hump and a giant long neck. But there is something enormous causing whatever. And he got a flat day because I don't want to brag about travels, but I have been to Loch Ness with Mr. Senior Noir, Luigi Black, Louis Black.
Who also likes bolitas.
He would love a Cheeto Bolito. We went on Loch Ness and on a barge thing, and you go all the way up. Here's the weird thing about that lake. It is extremely windy. There's a lot of gray hues. And then usually, the sky is gray usually, not all the time. It casts so many different apparitions, whatever, that you don't really know what the fuck you're looking at. I don't know if they're waves or, yeah. But anyway, an Irishman who's also a Loch Ness enthusiast claims to have spotted the creature in footage recorded on newly installed webcams at the famous lake. This is how we are going to find it, if we're ever going to find it. And this man must be my spirit animal, because he thinks it's just a large eel. So do I. The man added that the second sighting from September 15th exists thanks to Shorehand Lodge's webcam. So he's given credit to other webcams. We all heard stories about Loch Ness Monster when we were kids, but looks like these stories were not fictional, but real. An Irishman who's also to Loch Ness, he installed webcams at the lake, I guess on his own. The avid enthusiast, O'Fagan is his last name, captured 2 clips of a giant eel-like shapes moving on the water's surface. And it's a flat day, which I only saw that lake for 3 days, but I never once saw it flat. The man is mostly looking for pieces of evidence that Loch Ness monsters via webcam, but now he's focused on the webcam footage. He's telling people about it, the existence of these monsters. He talked to the Daily Record regarding his findings, and he said, I captured 2 very interesting video clips on 2 of the new webcams recently. The first at the Klansman webcam, not Klansman like KKK, like Klan, like Scottish Klan, CLAN. Then he tells you there's a water disturbance and a long dark shape. It was recorded for 4 minutes. It was the only darkened water visible in the recording of the loch at that time. That's why it's kind of believable. Something's doing it, and just in that one spot. So it can't be, I don't know. I don't think it could be wind or rain. A second sighting, that one's the other one. He said an object visibly appears on the left near the shore and moves steadily to the right of the screen and out of the webcam coverage. The object is black and long and in the region of 6 to 8 feet long like an eel, or a rare, very large or giant one. Its dark black colors break the surface occasionally and it moves to the right. The man is said to believe that the theory posted, they think it's a giant eel, and there's a lot of people that agree. He's a 57-year-old guy. He's made multiple trips to Scotland to try and track the monster. He made his first sighting back in 1987, and he stated that he submitted the other 2 sightings to the official Loch Ness Monster Sightings Register. Well, I didn't know that. Registry. I didn't know that existed. I'll be signing up for that today. What else are you doing? Well, I should be packing for where? Rochester, Ithaca, But instead, I'll be signing up for this website.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good choices.
Okay, we're moving on to news. So exciting. This is for my Yoopers, my Upper Peninsula people who will be featured prominently in my next special on Amazon. No, I have a joke about it, but Michigan, 1 in a million. They have a photo of it. Spirit bear.
No. Is it white?
It's white. Yeah, an extremely rare white spirit bear spotted in Michigan's Upper Peninsula may have an uncertain future as people are discussing killing it in hunting season.
No.
They don't learn from Native Americans. Mm-hmm. They would never have killed it. It's very bad luck. You can't kill it. There's a speculation over the past couple days that the bear is already dead after being attacked by wolves, so it's considered unlikely. Yeah, who decided that? Oh, I bet it's dead. I bet it got eaten by wolves. Well, how the fuck do you know that?
Right.
There's not even one sign of that. The white bear, known as a spirit bear, is actually a rare type of black bear with only white or creamy fur and paws due to its genetic makeup. It is thought that only around 100 of them exist. 100? Yep. That's according to the North American Bear Society. Most spirit bears live on the Princess Royale and Gribble Islands along the coast of British Columbia, Canada.
Yeah, they do.
With some rare exceptions elsewhere.
With Bigfoot.
From September 4 to 6, a white bear was spotted on a trail cam. They have pictures of it. It's beautiful.
It's really pretty.
Usually these things get eaten on their own because they're highly visible. They have the wrong color. They don't blend into anything.
Not until it snows, and then they're hibernating.
No reason to kill it. The photos were shared on social media. They received hundreds of comments on the Youper Outdoors hashtag 906 Facebook group. Oh, I'm going to join that too.
Putting that.
Somebody wrote, that would make an awesome mount or rug.
Come on.
I know. If a person wants to tag, use the tag they purchase on a legal animal, then they can. They do not need your permission. And somebody said, let him grow. That'd be a beautiful mount in a few more years. Why do we have to kill it?
Right.
My dad hunts. I'm familiar with hunting. My brothers hunt. I get hunting, but this one's special. I don't know. I would believe in Native Americans is bad luck. That's all I need to hear.
Yes.
Many other hunters urge people to leave the bear alone. I'm all about bear hunting. I really do hope my other hunters can see the beauty in this rare beauty and let them go. Nothing this magnificent ever needs to be taken as a trophy. Right.
Right.
I'm with those people.
Yes.
Now I'm going to get shitty mail from hunters, which I'll forward to my dad. Michigan's hunting season this year runs September 7th to October 26th with some variation between districts, blah, blah, blah. There's no protections in place. You can't, it's illegal to shoot, in British Columbia, you cannot shoot them. There's no rules in Michigan about it, though. And what are you going to do?
That's awful.
I hope he hides well.
Yeah.
2 months. Hide your white ass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Find a cave.
Literally. Yeah, but
Smart, though.
he's probably out looking for his food before he goes in hibernation. Here's some news for adults. I thought about it too. I think I would do it. First, I was like, oh, that's stupid. Then I was like, well, McDonald's is releasing new Happy Meals for adults
I'm so excited.
to recreate one of the most, quote, nostalgic experiences.
Yes.
I'm mad at McDonald's for switching to fries. I know, but, they were like, oh, these ones are too dangerous. I think you should be able to go in McDonald's, and if you weigh within 20 pounds of what you're supposed to, you can have the old fries. And then if you don't, or you got to bring some health records in and say, give me the old ones.
Health record.
Well, I would do it. Everybody's got a portal. Show me your portal. Okay, you can have the fries. But anyway, you're never too old for a Happy Meal. At least that's what McDonald's is banking on. The fast food juggernaut this week announced plans to introduce adult-oriented meals, complete with a free toy, in an initiative designed to work off the nostalgia of the restaurant's famous red cardboard boxes. The Cactus Plant Flea Market box is a collaboration between McDonald's and the famous streetwear brand. Will roll out. They're going to roll these out October 3rd, so they should be out.
Where?
I don't know which ones. I don't know yet. I don't know. You're going to get a collectible figurine, either McDonald's mascots, Hamburglar and Birdie, as well as a Cactus Buddy or Grimace. I did like the Hamburglar. But they put a Big Mac in there. Where did it go? It's adult. It's like the adult thing. I would just eat a kid one. I've never eaten a Big Mac in my life. I don't even know.
You can't get cheeseburgers?
Well, I don't know if you can ask what's in there. I don't think so. Look it up. It doesn't really say. Oh, here. A Big Mac or a 10-piece chicken McNugget as well as a soda and fries.
Nobody needs 10 McNuggets.
Nobody needs any McNugget.
No.
Once you get into that, I mean, they're good, but, with their honey mustard, they're good. I just don't love McDonald's.
Oh, come on.
I like their fish sandwich. Would they give me a fish sandwich?
Why don't you write to them?
I'm the one lady. Once a year.
Wow.
Besides Catholics in Lent that show up.
These toys are freaky.
The toys are freaky?
Yeah, they're freaky looking. They've all got 2 sets of eyes.
Speaking of which, is the Hamburglar on there?
Yeah, but he's got 4 eyes.
But see, then they're going to tell me I can't make a special request. Like, I don't like sauce on a Big Mac. I don't eat a Big Mac.
You can make a special request.
Well, then mine's a fish sandwich for a special request.
It doesn't come in that.
Hey, speaking of fast food, Taco Bell's going to bring back one of its most requested discontinued items. And you get to vote on it. Either the double-decker taco or the enchilado. I don't know. I never had an enchilado. And I never felt the need to go for the double-decker taco, although I bet it's easier to eat because it's probably more solid.
Enchilado. Oh, enchilado. Soft flour tortilla.
A soft flour tortilla.
Yeah. Beef.
Let me guess. Cheese, beans, onions.
Yep.
That's the same thing in everything.
And red sauce.
And red sauce.
Yeah, it's basically an enchilada.
It's an enchilada
burrito.
or a burrito. It's an enchilado.
Yeah, I vote for that.
Okay, well, they're going to bring one of these two options back before the end of 2022. The limited item will be available for available for a limited time only. Oh, stop it! Just bring shit back. God, those wanting to once again savor one of the creations can. Here's what I've never heard somebody go. I gotta get a McRib. No. Cancel that.
Right.
We all just look at it and go, gross.
We gotta go get an enchilada.
An enchilada? Yeah. Well, it's not. Well, here's the thing. There's you can cast a daily vote in the Taco Bell app through October 6th. You'll need to have a Taco Bell rewards card and be signed in to vote. You know what? I'll let the other people do the voting. I don't have time for all that. I'm very busy eating Cheetos Bolitas. According to the app, the enchilada is in the lead. Okay, there you go, paddles. The votes are split roughly 60-40, so the double-decker taco has some catching up to do. The winner will be announced on October 7th. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
The double-decker taco involves an outer layer of soft flour tortilla spread with beans. This encapsulates a crunchy taco shell filled with beef, lettuce, cheddar, blah, blah, blah. That was discontinued in 2019. The double-decker. Oh, wow. They canceled the enchilada in 2013.
I think that sounds good.
Mm-hmm. They also recently brought back the Mexican pizza, and we've already talked about that. So, well, I would try an enchilada. I'm good on the double taco. Yeah, just a regular taco's fine. Might be easier to eat if you're driving, though, which you probably shouldn't be doing anyway. But, okay. This is bad news for Netflix. For Netflix. How many people like it? I still like it. I like it. Millions of Netflix fans say they'll quit the app this year as the cost of living crisis bites. They're turning tail. People
are not doing Netflix for $10.
I don't know if it's $10. Google. I think it's more now.
Do you have Netflix?
I have everything. And I've probably paid for it all twice. I don't know what the hell is going on my television. I have DirecTV because I want to be able to watch football games, and they were the only ones with Sunday Ticket. And then I bought the MLB app because I want to be able to watch the Cardinals on my iPad backstage, no matter where I'm at in the country. So I paid for all that, and then
$9.99 to $19.99.
$9.99 to $19.99.
Depending on how many people you want to be able to watch at the same time.
Oh, how many people you want to watch at the same time? See, I'm probably paying the $20, and it's just me.
Totally.
1,000 Americans were interviewed about their Netflix habits. 25% said they plan to leave. This could mean 18 million subscribers will vanish, leaving a $272 million hole in the streaming company's pockets. Well, here's how that hole wouldn't have been so big if you hadn't given Harry and Meghan all of your spending money.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Bad. Around 40% of people said they'll exit due to the recently announced price rise. The company is hiking back the cost of basic. Oh, this article's in pounds, so I don't even know what that means.
Come on.
They're hiking it up by £1 a month,
A pound?
respectively, to the $9.99 and the $19.99. So $1, €1. It's not a. I always think I'm reading something British. While the customers will be charged an extra $2 for the premium package, which now costs blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. It's proven unpopular among users who are already struggling to pay bills as a result of inflation. Other Netflix users say that they're leaving as the direct result of the cost of living increases. 22% said they were jumping ship due to missing shows and or movies on the platform. What? A lot of them said they preferred other streaming services. Well, if you think about it, if you can't afford them all, you got to pick your favorites.
I don't know.
I don't know. Netflix has had a tough year, losing 1.2 million subscribers in the first quarters of 2022. It's a lot. They better think of something.
Yeah.
They blame increased competition, password sharing, and Russia's war with Ukraine for the drop. Really? What?
Wow.
Why don't you blame the Spirit Bear in Michigan? Is it his fault? Her fault? Yeah. I don't know what you're supposed to do if you're them, but they better think of something fast. Because all these other ones are creeping up too. And now I like Paramount Plus too. There's just so many to pick from. All right, this is so weird. I tried to start this some other podcast, and I don't know. We moved on, but so for more than 50 years, this reclusive artist, Michael Heiser, he's finally ready to unveil, quote, City, his life's work. And here's what it looks like. He has a sprawling installation of man-made forms in the dusty Nevada desert, and it runs a mile and a half long, and it can only be explored on foot. Whoa. I'll keep going. More than a century after he started it, one of land art's greatest creators. I've never heard of the guy.
No.
Google this name. See what else he's done. Okay. Michael Heiser, Heizer. He's ready to unveil
American artist.
his magnus opus.
He specializes in large-scale and site-specific sculptures.
Large-scale and site-specific sculpture. Okay.
77.
He's 77 years old. Okay.
He's from Berkeley.
He's from Berkeley, so I'm sure it's, yeah. Okay. Kind of far out. It's a lot of superlatives for a first sentence, but City, made by Michael Heiser, demands it. His sprawling installation of man-made forms in the dusty Nevada desert runs a mile and a half long. It's a singular artwork and one that's taken almost mythological status in the minds of art fans over recent decades. And starting on September 2nd, those fans will finally be able to see it.
Okay.
He was supported by a non-for-profit. They're accepting a limited amount of single-day reservations to experience his piece. Showing up without a booking, the organization stresses is not allowed, nor is it particularly easy. The site has no habitable structures and sits on private property in a rural stretch of the Great Basin land with few accessible paths for cars. There's pictures of it. So say you had a triangle.
Okay.
And then you laid it on one of the shorter sides of the triangle.
Okay.
Basically, this looks like a skateboard park to me. And I'm not even kidding. I do not get it. This is one of these things where I'm like, too Midwest, too dumb. No matter what you explain to me, this is not going to make any sense. I'm sure to people who know shit about this makes sense. The foundation has built a $30 million endowment to care for the, quote, city. That's what it's called. Moving forward, it'll be under the custodianship of a coalition of major U.S. institutions. Then they tell you all those. Visiting city is an off-road proposition in more ways than one. It's been called the largest artwork in the world, contains no walkways, lookouts, or directional signals. There's no beginning and no end. Okay, as a Libra, I don't like any of that either. I want some signs, and I want to know, where do I start and where do I finish? What was your intention? And this guy is one of those free floaters that a good Libra can't be around because you won't make a decision. And I sure shit ain't going to make a decision.
No.
I can't make those kind of decisions. It's too hard. You're supposed to do it.
Oh my God.
No walkways, lookouts, or there's no beginning, no there. It is designed to be explored on foot and by instinct. Okay. Here's my first thought out here. Where are the rattlesnakes? Fuck, I'm going to get bitten by a rattlesnake. That's all I'd be doing is look at the ground. Your art is here. It's giant sculptures, but I'm too focused on, because that happened to me in Phoenix. I took a walk at a JW Marriott. I had a corporate gig. And I said, are there any walking paths, but like safe ones? Because it's the desert.
Right.
And the guy was like, oh, yeah, just go out here. I took the map, followed it. Seriously, at one point, I had an iPod and headphones in. I'm just walking along. There is a rattlesnake. If you did not know, you would have thought was taking a walk with me. No. I freaked out so bad I literally jumped into traffic. Yep. Thankfully, the only car that was coming was probably 100 yards down the road, but that person, I'm sure, was like, what is this crazy lady? Right. Why did she purposely hop in the road? And then I went to the other side of the road, anyway. I've just had some very traumatic experiences. Just walking along in a place that's civilized. It's a path. Right. Anyway, that's all I'd be thinking about. It's designed, you're supposed to go by instinct as guests stride among its graded gravel lanes, rounded ravines, and vast concrete structures. Oh, my God. Mm-hmm. It's kind of crazy. This guy is kind of funny, though. Mm-hmm. He did. It took him all these years. I mean, he said, I'm a fool, alone, helplessly watching as they wait for me to die so they could turn my ranch into a gift shop and a motel. Now 77, he told the New York Times. This is a masterpiece, or close to it, and I'm the only one who cares whether the thing is actually done. Oh, okay. Somebody compared it to the most ancient monuments in cities. Oh, come on. Well, the ancient monuments had a purpose other than art. So did their cities. Right. Newgrange, it's to see the solstice. So you go in the thing. They all had like a little engineering purpose too. I mean, or that's a burial ground, or there's a reason those people did it. They didn't have really time for fucking art. But, I mean, there's nothing else going on here. You want to give the guy the land? Right. Okay. What else are you going to put there? A skateboard park. It's an artwork aware of our primal impulses to build and organize space. Yes, this lady would like that. It incorporates our modern tendencies, our awareness and reflections upon the subjectivity of our human experience of time and space, as well as the many histories of the civilizations we have built. Okay. Thank you. Do you have a t-shirt? Can I buy a t-shirt? How about a coffee mug? Do you have a magnet? I got to get out of here. But anyway, if there's people that understand art way better than I do, get on out there. It's called City. If you want to look it up, put it in the schnotes. That's his life's work. Next week, we're going to be talking about Kim Kardashian's in a lot of trouble with the... Yeah, but I had a different article, too, that's very long that I need to dumb down for all termites, including this termite. So we're going to end today on a story that I promised you I would finish out. Okay. King Charles's lost baby. Lost baby in Oz. The Australian lost baby. King Charles's alleged Australian love child drops DNA bombshell. These are the questions you and I were like, well, wait a second. Buckingham Palace has seen its share of scandals over the years, but in the wake of Her Majesty's death, a potential hidden love child in the family could be the biggest yet. Simon Charles Durante Day, 56. By the way, somebody said my English accent was okay. And I'm like, they're right. It's not great. But in fairness, she said, I don't think my mid-Missouri one would be very good. I'm like, okay, funny comment. And I'll take it. That's all I got. Simon Charles Durante Day, 56, he claims he was conceived in 1965 by a 17-year-old Charles and an 18-year-old Camilla long before they began their affair. Okay? Yep. His unlikely claim has never been confirmed, but he's determined to settle the matter once and for all. He told the News he planned to take fresh legal action to force the new king to undergo DNA testing. I don't think you're going to get that done. Why? Why would he do that? Right. Sharing an interview on Facebook, he said, Charles got what he wanted, the throne, he got his wife, he got it all. Now it's time for me to get my happy ending. Whoa, ho, hey. He said the DNA test will prove he's the rightful heir to the throne. I was getting to, okay. you and I were like, well, what is he actually saying happened? Hold on. No. He has over 18,000 followers on Facebook. So, but this is not the part. Here's the part. He has spent years researching his ancestry, finding pathways back to Charles and Camilla, and using physical similarities as evidence. Yeah, there are some. Kind of the way Charles's eyes go down like this. But, yeah, I could probably find 20 guys that look like him, I suppose. I'd probably have to go to England to do that. But this is... Shit, I think I printed out the wrong one. He is saying that his mother worked for the Queen. Okay. These two had this secret baby. And they gave it away. They sent it to Australia because that's far enough away. Nobody will ever know. Right. And then... And part of the Commonwealth. Yeah, but there was a better... I think I printed out the wrong thing. I'm very sorry, termites. I don't usually mess up like this. But
let's make up our own.
Want to make up our own story?
Yeah.
What do you think? He looks a lot like him. That's my problem. He looks a lot. But I'm the lady that watches those shows. In episode 1, I'm like, that guy did it. Episode 2, I'm like, what? No, I think she left on her own. No, I'm sorry I said that about that first man. I'm not exactly. That's why I don't make decisions quickly. I wait till all the things are in. No, I had the thing.
Does he have the ears?
He does have the ears. They're not quite as prominent as Charlie's. I'll find the real one for next time. That's my bad, termites. I'm sorry. What? I'll get part 3 going, yeah. All right, termites.
What are you doing this weekend?
This weekend, I'm going to Rochester, Ithaca, and Wilkes-Barre or Barry. I still don't know how to say it. I've gotten competing things from people on Twitter. I don't know what's right. You know what? I'm going to ask the first old person I see when I get there. They'll tell me.
Where are you starting now?
I'm starting in Buffalonia, as I like to call it, the land of Buffalonia. Because I want to go to the Anchor Bar. Because I want to have their buffalo wings. And then, if anybody from Buffalo has second suggestions on that, but don't tell me not to go to the Anchor Bar. Well, people go, but there's way better wings in Buffalo. I'm sure there are. Yeah. But I'll do that as a second.
Tell me where they are.
Yeah, that'll be my second stop. But
because you're going back.
Yes, I am going back. And then I'm going to see my friends Mary and Tommy, and they're going to come to Ithaca. And, the weather's not too bad yet, so it's going to be absolutely lovely. And then the baseball playoffs will be on. So great. Cardinals in there. Wild card. Let's go Cards. And after that, Fort Collins, Colorado Springs. After that, I don't know. I'd have to look. I'd have to turn my phone back on, and it's misbehaving. Grand Rapids.
Royal Oak.
Detroit. I love you. Royal Oak. 2 shows. Grand Rapids is totally fun, too.
Yep.
Dayton and Indy. Both also Midwest solid fun. Yep. And the weather's just great. So I have no road complaints. No knock on wood. All flights are seeming to be going off on time.
Yep.
Nobody seems to be pissed at the airport, which is also super nice.
Children are back in school.
The children are back in school, thank God, which takes half the traffic out of the airport for those of us that have to fly every week. And that's all I got, termites. I really suggest get some Cheetos Bolitas. Just get a tiny bag, try it.
That bag?
Yeah, I'm going to have to. I can't have this. I'll eat this whole bag. Tiny bag. Get a tiny bag of Bolitas. Chili and cheese. And I love it that there's a cheetah on there. It's a funny bag. Yeah, I like it. It's good. I like the artwork. All right, termites. Your fall termites. Your football termites.
Happy Wednesday.
Lewis beat me in the fantasy league last week.
What's going on with Tom?
Well, Tommy Salami. Oh, it's bad, I think. I think they're fighting about other things in football. Giselle was spotted in Miami without him. He's not playing well, but he didn't have one of his whoobies the 1 week. And then I have Tua as my other quarterback. And then
Oh, no.
I know. So Lewis beat me, but I'm only blaming it on Tua. It's not because Lewis is a genius. If you happen to be listening, Lewis, I know you think you're a football genius, but no. And
Tua had an aneurysm on the field.
yeah, and then a 14-year-old kicked my ass in the other league. I lost everything. The only thing I even won any money on was I bet on San Francisco to beat the Rams, only because I hate the Rams. Because I hate Stan Kroenke, nothing personal to LA people.
Right.
It's not about you. It's about me and Stan.
Yeah.
And Stan has a house 2 miles from my brother's house.
There's a history.
Yeah, he's so rich he can scramble phones. Your phones don't work in that 3-mile area. You drive, but as soon as you go by Stan's house, oh shit, my phone don't work. Wonder how that's happening.
He doesn't want you betting against him.
San Francisco more than covered. Thank God. All right, you are fall termites. You are nice termites. Be helpful hamsters.
Holidays are coming. Boom.
Holidays?
Yeah.
Don't get ahead of yourself, Pat. I don't want to hear about holidays yet. Enjoy October.
It's almost Canadian Thanksgiving.
Canadian Thanksgiving.
It's a week from yesterday.
Okay. Well,
Columbus Day is Canadian Thanksgiving.
Columbus Day is Canadian Thanksgiving. Okay.
I might invite you over for turkey.
Good to know. Oh, yeah, invite me over for turkey. Somebody should. All right. Yeah, that's all I got. All right.